Lately, I have noticed how much time I just spend scrolling and consuming content. It's almost like this automatic thing that I do without even really thinking about it, and it's gotten a lot worse in the last couple of weeks. In class this past week or so, we've been talking a little bit more about how fast everything moves online and how there is basically no time for us to stop and critically think about what we're consuming. We're just mindlessly taking stuff in. And I'm gonna go into a little bit more depth on what exactly we're learning and why I'm doing this later this week. But it has really challenged my way of thinking and my habits. This week, I want to challenge myself to step away from the scroll and just be more present and see what happens. Hold on. I cannot decipher whether that's a dog or a cat. That's a dog, but the top, sorry, this is such a side note, the top half looks like a dog. The bottom, as in the top half looks like a dog. The bottom half with the tail looks like a cat. Anyways. What was I saying? Right, I want to challenge myself this week. I don't know if I can do it or how it's gonna make me feel, but I want to at least try. Even just to be more present and enjoy the present moment. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a go. We'll see what happens. That was so confusing. So tempted to pick up my phone and scroll right now, but I'm not gonna. This shouldn't be a problem. Quickly before I go to bed, I wanted to chat for a little bit. If I'm gonna be really honest, this challenge to kind of disconnect so far this week has been a lot harder than I thought it would be. I knew it was gonna be hard, but it is really highlighting to me how, I don't like to use the word addicted, but how much I cling to my phone. And I have not done this perfectly so far. I spent quite a good amount of time this morning scrolling, which I don't want to do that. I really want to start my morning without my phone, but today that just wasn't gonna happen. And that's okay. I'm learning, and it's a process, and I'm not gonna do it perfectly every single time. But in class this past week or so, we have been talking about a couple different things, but there are two concepts in particular that have really initiated this whole thing. It has really made me question, like I said the other day, question my habits basically. And one of the concepts is this thing called non-human speed. We scroll so fast that there is no time for us to process what we're taking in or how it's shaping us. There's no time for us to critically think about what we're consuming. And that's a problem. Like, that's quite alarming, to be honest, because the amount of videos that I will go through, I was thinking about it the other day. I put my phone down, got up, and realized that I have probably consumed well over 100 different short form videos, and I probably couldn't tell you 5 minutes after I stopped scrolling what I just watched. The second concept is this thing called the dislocated space. And the dislocated space is when you are physically present, but mentally you're clocked out. And this actually started when the railway and trains became more common. People were not used to being in these close, in this close proximity to each other, being silent around strangers. That was just not normal. And so people would start bringing novels to read on the train to dislocate themselves from reality. And they even actually started selling these little pocketbooks on the train station specifically for people to buy them and bring them and read them on the train to not feel this uncomfortable feeling around strangers. Today, obviously, that is our phone, and I think we have taken it a step too far, to the point where you might be on a date with someone and you're dislocated. You're watching your kids and you're dislocated. It's not so much about, sometimes it is about dislocating because of discomfort and wanting to kind of shield yourself from that feeling of being uncomfortable. But I think a lot of the time nowadays, it's turned into a sort of addiction and something that we just can't go without. I mean, even with myself this week, I've grabbed my phone so many times, not because I'm bored or uncomfortable, simply because I'm just used to doing it. So yeah, that is all for now. I am going to turn the light off and go to bed. Good night. It is Saturday afternoon. I am about to finish editing this video and call it a day. But this week has been eye-opening in ways that I didn't really expect. I didn't realize how much time I actually spend being somewhere else mentally, just filling every quiet moment with noise. There were a few times this week where I actually did manage to just be still, when I normally would spend time scrolling or listening to something. And honestly, those moments felt so special. Not so much in the sense that I got all this extra time to reflect and be in deep thought, but I now know that I can sit for 30 to 40 minutes on a bus with no distractions and be okay with it. I think the third time that I did it this week, I actually didn't want to listen to music. I wanted to just be still. And that was a really cool feeling. because I felt so much more in control. I didn't feel like my phone was controlling me in the sense of I need to listen to something or I need to watch something. I was in control and I chose in that moment to not listen to anything because I didn't want to. And that was really cool. I actually felt really proud of myself in that moment. So I challenge anyone else to actually try doing this as well. You might hate it. You might not want to continue doing it, but if anything, you will learn something about yourself. And I think that's always a good thing. And before I end this video, I want to share my song of the week. This is one of many songs that I have been recommended by my sister, and it is Landslide by Tiny Habits. This week, this song specifically has made me miss singing more than I have in a very long time. It is almost impossible for me to listen to it without breaking into song and singing along with the harmonies, which is something that I used to do all the time a few years ago and when I was younger. I just haven't done it in so long, and so that has been really healing in a weird way. But yeah, that is it for this week and my little challenge to step away from the scroll. I don't have the perfect answers for how to keep this up or what is going to work long term, but I think noticing it is the first step. And right now, that feels enough.